Hi, I'm Catherine from KatherineLearnsStuff. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to make this cute Peekaboo star-shaped candy box. So let's jump in. For my star-shaped chocolate Christmas box, I need a piece of cardstock. I'm using 12 by 12 cardstock that has a Christmas theme on it. And I actually need some acetate. What I like to use for acetate instead is these clear sheet protectors because I find that they cut nicely and they're much less expensive than acetate paper. So I'm going to quickly cut this through my Cricut and we'll meet you back at my workstation to assemble this project. I'm quickly going to walk you through how to use the star-shaped Peekaboo box that I've created so that you know how to set this up in Cricut Design Space so that you can get the file to work the best without wasting any paper. So you should have downloaded the file from my shop by now, and then you're going to simply select the upload button and select upload again over here. Now I'm just going to copy and drag the file over, and this is what it looks like when you have it coming into your Cricut Design Space, and we're going to select continue. Again, we have the file name here. You can change this if you'd like. You can add tags, add it to a collection, and then we're going to select upload. Now when this file comes into Cricut Design Space, you'll notice the size is 3.5 inches wide, 2.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall. I like to set this file to be 4 inches wide, so we want to make sure that our lock dimensions is on, and we're going to change this to 4 inches so that it comes out, the whole thing stretches proportionately. Now our star is going to be 4 inches wide this way, which is a good size, and all of our pieces have been modified accordingly. So I'm going to quickly go over to my layers panel here, and I'm going to ungroup this whole thing just to go over some things that we need to do with each piece. These rectangle pieces here that are kind of in a purple, this is what's going to be the walls for our box. Now you'll notice here each one has all these lines, and if we don't do anything to these lines, they're going to cut out instead of score, and we don't want to have a whole bunch of little pieces. We need these pieces together. So I'm going to individually select each of these walls, and you'll notice here I can just select this whole thing, this whole piece here, and I'm going to change this from a basic cut to a score. Now all of these lines here are going to turn into score lines, and so now I'm going to select the top layer, which is the whole purple box, and all of these score lines now, and I'm going to attach them together. And I'm going to repeat this step for each of the walls so that they can be score lines and not cut lines. I'm going to change it to score and then attach, and I'm going to do the same thing for this last wall. And attach. So now these ones are ready to go. So when we cut this out, all of these dashed lines now are going to be score lines to help us fold this all up. And now I'm going to quickly just go over this box here with you. So what we have is we've got our star outline, which will be cut in a cardstock. I use Christmas theme for this one. We're going to have a black star. This is actually going to be our acetate, which we will cut out. So this is going to be what we use for our Peekaboo box, and then we're going to have the back of the box in gray as well. So these two are set to be the same color so that they cut out in the same color. Now I've got these ones set as purple, but they really should be cut out in the same color as these gray stars, unless you want to have the box a different color. I mean, the wall's a different color than the top of the box, but if we want to, we can just come over here, select this one item, and we can change the color back to gray, and do that for all these other pieces as well, so that they're all the same color and they get cut out on the same piece of paper that we would like. No, I don't want the whole thing. I just want this one piece here. And we're going to change that to gray as well. So now this will cut out, these two stars and the 3 wall panels will cut out in the one color, and this black is going to cut out in our acetate. So when we're sending this to our cutting mats, we're going to quickly do a review here. We're going to select make, not bother saving this. And we can adjust these pages here, the stars here and the pieces to save paper. And then this black star that we have is going to cut out on acetate. So we want to make sure that when we're sending this to our cutting machine that we change the material from our cardstock for the previous page to custom materials, and then we select foil acetate. So these are ready to be cut out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to our workstation and start to assemble this. So I've cut out the pieces for my candy box. I've got my acetate piece here. I've got the front of my box, the back, and the walls. So So what I'm going to start off by doing is I'm going to glue my acetate star onto my front so that we'll be able to see what's inside of our candy box. So I'm just going to grab my glue and then we're going to glue that because that's going to need the longest time to dry. Okay, so now we're just going to quickly put glue on here. And we're going to place down the acetate. Now while this is drying, we're going to work on the rest of our box. So we cut out these pieces before and they've already got score lines in them, so we're going to fold along all the score lines so that we've got this box nicely ready to assemble. Now the size that I've made these side panels for our walls is smaller, so it'll fit like Hershey's Kisses or smaller chocolates. It won't fit like big Lindor chocolates, but if you make the wall thicker, then you can. And the idea isn't to put 1,000 chocolates in here, we just want a few, right? Because who needs 1,000 chocolates at Christmas time? So now those are now folded. We're going to slowly work our way around this box, and it's going to be a little bit tricky because some sides are going to be in and some sides are going to be out. So we're just going to slowly do one piece at a time, and I'm going to work on the back side while my front is drying. And we're going to do one wall section at a time because there's a trick we need to do at the end. Okay, so there's part of it. Now we want this box to be able to open when we put candies into it. So we're going to, where's my piece here? This piece goes here. This flap, when we've got these on our base pieces, we need to make sure that we're gluing it onto one of the other edges so that it stays put. And this guy's got 3 sides here. Stars are not easy shapes to work with. The nice thing about the glue that I'm using is that it dries super fast, so it will not take long to set in its spot. Okay, we got 2 sides done. And now this last side, we're actually going to leave it so that the one side can completely be open. So we're just going to glue on the edge here. And I've happened to cut off my extra piece here, but the design has an extra piece at the side so that it holds steady against the other corner. And now once our acetate is dry, we're simply going to glue this on top, like so. Now while my glue is drying, what I'm quickly going to do is I've got a little piece of ribbon and I'm going to glue it onto here so that I can attach this onto my box, and that way I'll be able to open the box once I'm ready to. I'm just going to glue that in there. Okay, so while this is drying, I'm going to go find my candies. What I realize now, what I could have done with this extra star that I had from before, I could have actually just glued it on the bottom here so that it wouldn't be a white inside, but that's alright if it's that way or not, so it's just something to consider when you're doing this yourself. And there you have it. We've successfully created a Peekaboo star-shaped candy box. If you've enjoyed this craft, be sure to check out my other paper crafts that I've got listed at the side here. Also, don't forget you can get a copy of this SVG file at my shop, and I've left a link for that below. If you've enjoyed this craft and you've made it, please let me know how it turned out, and if you've got any tips on how it could be better next time. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy crafting!